The big room was filled with strange creatures from all over space. 17 different alien groups had sent their best speakers to this important meeting. The room had tall crystal towers holding up a huge round roof. All around them, floating. Pictures showed information from different star systems. Ambassador Trowell looked like a giant insect. He tapped his long arm on the table. "We need to talk about the humans. They are becoming a problem," he said. His many eyes shined in the light as he spoke. Elder Voss was very old, and her body was almost see-through. Humans only just learned how to travel between stars. "Why are you so worried about them?" she asked. A man stepped out from the dark corner of the room. This was Ambassador Han from Earth. His hair was partly grey, and his face showed he had lived through hard times. His blue uniform was simple with just one small badge on it. "You should not think humans are weak," Han said in a calm voice. "We have survived many things that should have killed us all." The floating pictures now showed images from Earth's past. There were cities being built again after terrible wars. There were people coming back after giant rocks from space hit the planet. There were humans living through sicknesses that killed millions. "Remember what happened at Proxima," Han said. "The Credari company took humans and forced them to work in mines. The Credari thought they were too strong to be punished, but after just 3 weeks they were completely defeated." Ambassador Trowell waved his arm as if Han's words meant nothing. "That was just one weak company against your army. We are much stronger together." Han's face stayed calm, but his eyes showed something scary inside. "It wasn't our army that fought them. It was just the families of the people who were taken." Everyone became quiet. "It doesn't matter," said High Chancellor Ziv. "This council has decided to stop humans from moving into the Orion area. The decision is made." As everyone started to leave, Elder Voss walked over to Han. "Was what you said true? Are humans really that dangerous when angry?" she asked. Han looked at her with eyes that seemed much older than his body. "I hope you never have to find out," he said. Later that night, Han stood at the window of his small room. The stars outside looked peaceful, but he knew better. The Council had made a terrible mistake. He thought about Earth's long history of wars and fighting. Humans had almost destroyed themselves many times, but always survived. They had learned to channel their anger into action. Han picked up a small device and spoke into it. "Send message to Earth Command. The Council has refused to listen. They plan to block our ships from the Orion sector. Tell the President to prepare for possible trouble." He put the device down and looked back at the stars. Humans had finally found peace among themselves and reached out to the galaxy with open hands. But the aliens saw only a young species they could push around. Han sighed. He had tried to warn them. Many alien species became weak or confused when they got angry. Humans became focused and dangerous. It was how they had survived on their harsh world. A soft light blinked on his desk. "A message from Earth Command." Message received. Defense protocols active. Diplomatic channels remain open. Han nodded to himself. Earth would try peace until the very end. But if pushed too far, he remembered his grandfather's words from Long. "A polite human is the safest creature in the universe. An angry human is the most dangerous." The Council had just made 17 civilizations less safe. Han only hoped they would realize their mistake before it was too late. Outside his window, the galaxy spun on, unaware that it stood at the edge of a storm. Captain Sun could not move as she looked at the big screen on her ship. The Intrepid was one of Earth's best ships, but now it floated near a terrible sight. What used to be Research Station Omega was now just broken pieces floating in space. Behind the broken station was a huge gas planet called Proxima 4, its swirling colors a strange backdrop to the tragedy. "Are there any people still alive?" Sun asked. Her voice was calm, but inside she felt sick. Lieutenant G touched some buttons on her control panel and looked up with sad eyes. "No one alive on the main station, Captain. But we are picking up a weak emergency signal from the moon below. It's from Dr. Wu's personal device." Sun's fingers gripped the metal bar in front of her so hard her knuckles turned white. Dr. Wu was a brilliant scientist who had been working on something very important, a cure for a terrible disease that was killing people from many different alien species. The disease was called Cascading Cellular Breakdown Syndrome, and it was spreading across 3 different sectors of space. Dr. Wu's work was meant to show the rest of the galaxy that humans wanted to help, not harm. "Get a rescue team ready," Sun ordered. "I need to find survivors and I need to know what happened here." The rescue team left quickly in a small shuttle. Sun waited, pacing back and forth on the bridge. 4 hours later, Security Chief Tay returned with news. "It was the Vraxians, Captain," he said. "The Vraxians were an alien species known for their aggressive business practices. They came in fast, knew exactly where to hit. Very professional. Attack." Tay placed a small crystal on the table. It glowed with blue light. Dr. Wu hid this before they found him. It contains all of his research data. Sun went down to the medical bay where Dr. Wu was lying on a bed. His body was badly hurt with burns and broken bones, but his eyes were clear when they found Sun's face. "They told me our cure would hurt big space medicine companies," he whispered. His voice was weak. "They took he and the others. They're going to question them for information." Sun gently put her hand on the old scientist's shoulder. "Rest now. Doctor, we'll find them and bring them back." The Intrepid sent a message to Earth right away. The message spread quickly among all human worlds. People on 100 different colony planets were angry and demanded that something be done. The Earth Alliance Council, which made decisions for all humans in space, met right away while millions of people watched on screens. President Day was usually a person who gave long speeches, but this time she sent a very short message to the EI's whole galaxy, to the Vraxian Dominion and anyone who helped them attack our station. "Give back our people now. We are not asking. We are telling." The Vraxians answered 12 hours later, but they didn't send words, they sent bodies. 3 dead scientists from the research team were pushed out into space near a small human outpost. It was a clear message. Serve disrespect and challenge. On the Intrepid, Captain Sun received the news with a cold feeling in her stomach. She called Earth immediately. "They've killed 3 of our people," she reported to President Day. "It's a direct insult." The President's face on the screen looked tired but determined. "Captain Sun, you are authorized to implement Protocol 7. Sun knew what that meant. Protocol 7 was only used in the most serious situations. It meant she could use any means necessary to rescue the remaining scientists and respond to the attack. "Yes, Madam President," Sun said. She turned to her crew after the call ended. "Set course for the Vraxian border. Maximum speed." Lieutenant G looked worried. "Captain, that's a direct course into Vraxian space. Their defense fleet is 5 times our size." Sun's eyes were like stone as she sat in the captain's chair. "Send this message to all Earth ships in the sector. The line has been crossed. I repeat, the line has been crossed." Across human space, ships began to change course. Military vessels moved toward the Vraxian border. Civilian ships moved away from dangerous areas. On Earth and every colony, factories began changing what they made. The peaceful humans were preparing for something they had hoped to avoid. "The galaxy wanted to see what happens when humans get truly angry," Sun said quietly to herself as her ship raced through space. "I'm afraid they're about to find out." Admiral Jin stood on the bridge of his big ship named Retribution. His old face looked blue from the light of many screens around him. His crew worked quickly and quietly as 30 human ships appeared out of hyperspace near the Vraxian border station called Kel 9. "Is Protocol Thunderbolt ready?" Jin asked in a calm voice. Director Yoon touched the small computer connected to her head. "All systems are ready, Admiral. Our hidden agents are active in all concordate areas. Our spy networks are working. The Mjolnir platforms are in the right places." Jin gave a small nod. "Start sending our message on all radio channels." The main screen showed the Vraxian defense station. It was huge and covered with weapons. For hundreds of years, no one had been able to destroy or damage it. It looked like a ball of guns and lasers. "Vraxian Command," Jin said in a calm voice. "Your station has 30 seconds to give up before we destroy it completely." The Vraxian Commander's face appeared on the screen. The alien's mouth parts clicked together in what was their way of laughing. "Humans are so full of pride. This station has stood against 20 seconds, Jin said, cutting off the alien's words. All around this area of space, aliens from many different species were watching from their own ships and stations. They were curious to see what would happen. The human ships looked so small and weak compared to the huge Vraxian defense station. Many thought the humans were being foolish. "Time's up," Jin said simply. What happened next was so surprising that it would be studied by war schools across the galaxy for many years to come. The human ships did not fire any laser weapons or missiles. Instead, 16 small objects jumped through hyperspace with perfect timing. They appeared inside the station's shields at exactly the right spots. These were special gravity bombs that the humans had designed. The great Vraxian fortress didn't explode outward. Instead, it collapsed inward, crushed by its own weight. The station that had stood for centuries was gone in seconds. "Send this message on all channels," Jin ordered. "To all ships in Vraxian space. You have our people. Return them unharmed, and we will let you live. If you fight back..." He pointed at the floating pieces of metal that used to be Kel 9. In a small observation ship nearby, an alien named Krith was recording everything for the Galactic archives. Krith wrote in his notes, "When most species get angry, they stop thinking clearly. But humans are different. When humans get angry, they become cold and focused. They turn their anger into careful, planned destruction. No other species has ever evolved to be like this." On the Retribution, a young officer approached Admiral Jin. "Sir, we're getting calls from 7 different alien governments. They want to talk." Jin nodded. "Put them on hold. First, check if any Vraxian ships are responding to our demand." Another officer looked up from her screen. 3 Vraxian ships are sending messages, Admiral. They say they have our scientists and want to make a deal." "No deals," Jin said. "Tell them they have 1 hour to return our people unharmed, or we continue to the next target on our list." Director Yoon moved closer to Jin and spoke quietly. "The Galactic Concordat is calling an emergency meeting. They're scared." "Good," Jin replied. "Fear can be useful when dealing with bullies." In a small room on one of the Vraxian ships, the Idur captured human scientists huddled together. Dr. He looked up as the door suddenly opened. The Vraxian guards looked nervous. "Get up," one guard said. "You're being released." As the scientists were led to a small shuttle, Dr. He looked out a window and saw the human fleet in the distance. "They came for us," she whispered to her colleagues. "Earth didn't abandon us." Back on the Retribution, Admiral Jin received confirmation that the scientists were being returned. He allowed himself one small smile, the first one in days. "Once our people are safely on board, set course for Earth," he ordered. "Our point has been made." An alien observer asked Jin as he was leaving, "How did you know those gravity bombs would work? No one has ever broken through those shields before." Jin paused. "Because when humans get truly angry, we don't just lash out blindly. We solve problems. We found a way through those shields 3 years ago, but never needed to use it until now." As the human fleet turned and moved away from Vraxian space, messages raced across the galaxy. The news spread quickly. The humans had done the impossible, and they had done it not with overwhelming force, but with clever thinking and perfect timing. The galaxy had just learned an important lesson about humanity. When pushed too far, their anger didn't make them weak. It made them unstoppable. The big meeting of the Galactic Concordat had been going on for 6 hours. Everyone was tired and scared. On the big maps around the room, important defense stations were disappearing one by one. Each time, a light would blink and go dark. Chancellor Ziv could not stay calm anymore. His voice broke as he shouted, "How are they doing this? We can see where all their ships are. None of them are near these places." Ambassador Han sat quietly in the special booth for humans. He looked calm while everyone else was afraid. "You think we need ships to fight," he said simply. Suddenly, all the big screens in the room turned on by themselves. They showed pictures from Earth's long history of war, soldiers from ancient Rome standing in tight lines, horse riders from Mongolia racing across open land, wooden ships fighting on Earth's oceans, tanks and planes from big wars, and soldiers fighting in city streets. Han stood up. "For 10,000 years, we have fought ourselves and learned how to fight better each time. What you see now is us being gentle. We could do much worse." News was coming in from all over the galaxy. Many alien groups that had stayed out of fights before were now signing friendship papers with Earth. Trade ships were changing their routes. Secret military bases that no one was supposed to know about were either shutting down or saying they would now work with the humans. Elder Voss, the see-through alien who had spoken to Han before, came to talk to him privately. "This is not about getting back at those who hurt you, is it? You are changing how power works in the whole galaxy." Han looked at her with wise eyes. "We want to make a galaxy where working together on science is more important than making money, where talking can solve problems before fighting starts. Sometimes you have to break old systems to build better new ones." In a hidden room under the main meeting hall, Chancellor Ziv met with a small group of other leaders. They were very afraid of what the humans were doing. "We have no choice," Ziv said. "We must use the special weapon." One of the other leaders looked shocked. "The planet killer? But we agreed never to build such things. The treaties will not matter if humans take control of everything," Ziv said. "We built it in secret. Now we must use it against Earth itself. If we destroy their home planet, they will lose their strength." They did not know that Observer Krith, the one who had been recording what humans did, was listening from a hidden spot. Krith was not supposed to be there, but he had followed Ziv because he was curious. Krith felt sick hearing their plan. The planet killer was the worst weapon anyone could imagine. It could crack a planet open like an egg. Using it would kill billions of people. Quietly, Krith left the room. He went to his private quarters and sent a message to Admiral Jin. "Emergency. Concordat leadership planning direct strike on Earth. Planet killer weapon prepared. Launch expected within 24 hours. He had just sent the message when his door burst open. Chancellor Ziv stood there with 4 guards. "You were seen leaving the secure room," Ziv said coldly. "Who did you contact?" "No one," Krith said, but he knew they wouldn't believe him. Ziv pointed at Krith's communication device. "Check his outgoing messages." One guard did as ordered. "He sent something to a human ship, the Retribution." Ziv's face showed no emotion. "That is unfortunate. For the safety of the Concordat, there can be only one response to such treason." Krith stood tall. "The real treason is using a planet killer. That breaks every law we have. Take him away," Ziv ordered. "Make it quick and silent." As the guards led Krith away, the Observer had one last thought. The humans would get his message in time, and when they did, Chancellor Ziv would learn what human anger truly looked like. In space, Admiral Jin received Krith's message. His face became hard as stone as he read it. He pressed a button on his chair. "All ships, prepare for emergency jump to Earth. Maximum speed. This is not a drill." The human fleet turned as one toward their home. The real battle was about to begin. The big weapon meant to destroy Earth never got there. Hidden defense machines that humans had built around their solar system stopped it. These machines had been waiting silently since humans first heard signals from space hundreds of years ago. Everyone in the galaxy thought humans would now attack with all their power. They expected Earth to strike back with terrible force. But President Day did something no one predicted. She invited all space people to a peace meeting on a neutral planet called Harmonious Accord. When the alien leaders arrived, they were surprised to see Captain Sun and Admiral Jin waiting for them. Even more surprising were the scientists from Research Station Omega who had survived the attack. Dr. Wu was still walking with a cane because of his injuries. Dr. Wu slowly walked to the center of the room. His voice was soft but clear. "Before we talk about peace terms, I want to show you what my team created before we were attacked." He touched a small device, and a big 3D picture appeared in the air. It showed tiny moving shapes that looked like complicated puzzles. "This is the complete cure for cascading cellular breakdown syndrome," Dr. Wu said. "We have already sent medicine-making machines to all planets with sick people. Yes, even to Vraxian worlds." The room filled with shocked whispers. The aliens couldn't believe what they were hearing. The humans were helping even those who had attacked them. Admiral Jin walked forward. His uniform was clean and simple. "Our terms are easy to understand. First, we want a new concordat where all species have the same voice. Second, no more planet-killer weapons or anything like them. Third, all medical and science discoveries must be shared openly." Captain Sun stepped up next to him. "We don't want to take your lands or your resources. We want all of us to work together instead of fighting. If you don't agree," she pointed to a screen showing the Vraxian leaders, "in human custody. We can be harsh if we must, but we would rather not be." 1 full year passed. The galaxy changed in that time. Ambassador Han sat with Observer Krith on a balcony. Below them was the new building for the Galactic Concordat, on harmonious accord. Krith was not dead. The humans had found him alive in a prison cell during the peace talks and freed him. Now he had a new job as Keeper of Galactic Archives. "I still don't understand humans," Krith said. "You could have ruled the galaxy, why didn't you?" Han smiled as he watched people below. "Being angry is like having a tool. You can use the tool, but you shouldn't let the tool use you. Anger made us act, but wisdom told us how to act. Down." Below, aliens from 34 different species walked around together. Some were sharing science ideas. Some soldiers who used to be enemies were now training together. Former rivals were now friends. "The galaxy was afraid of human anger," Han said, "but now they see that human forgiveness is even stronger. That is the real power humans have." Krith used his recording arm to save Han's last words. "Humans nearly died out many times. We learned that working together is better than fighting. Yes, when humans get angry, the galaxy is afraid. But when humans forgive, the galaxy finds hope. Again." Later that night, Han walked alone in the gardens outside the Concordat building. He stopped by a pool of water and looked at his reflection. The face looking back had fewer lines of worry than before. A small alien child ran up to him, from a species that had once feared humans the most. "Is it true?" the child asked. "Did humans really forgive everyone who tried to hurt them?" Han knelt, down to be at eye level with the child. "We did, because holding on to anger is like carrying a heavy rock everywhere you go. Eventually you have to put it down to move forward." The child thought about this for a moment. "I want to be strong, like humans when I grow up." "Being strong isn't about making others afraid," Han said. "It's about making the right choices even when you're angry." As the child ran back to its parents, Han looked up at the stars. Humanity's journey among them had just begun. There would be more challenges, more misunderstandings, perhaps even more conflicts. But for now, the galaxy had learned an important lesson about the strange species from Earth. Sometimes the most dangerous beings in the universe were also the most compassionate. And that was a power greater than any weapon,